مشاهدينا الكرام، أهلا ومرحبا بكم في هذه الحلقة من مقابلة خاصة. يسعدنا أن نستضيف في حلقة اليوم الرئيس السابق جيمي كارتر، رئيس مؤسسة كارتر للسلام، وبنرحب بحضرتك طبعا معنا. بالطبع تابعت الانتخابات الرئاسية المصرية، ولكنك كنت قد ذكرت في بيان لك صادر في 14 من مايو الماضي أن مهمتكم محدودة للغاية وأنها فقط للمتابعة وليست للمراقبة. هذه المهمة المحدودة أو محدودية هذه المهمة كيف أثرت على متابعتكم للانتخابات؟
Well, first of all, we were not even approved for witnessing the election until the first week in May. We didn't get our credentials until the 16th of May, which was less than 1 week before the election started. Ordinarily, the Carter Center has been approved in previous elections, 89 previous elections, several months in advance. So we could witness the preparation of the voters list and the qualification of candidates, the conduct of the campaign, the public rallies, the disqualification of candidates leading up to the voting days. We were deprived of all of that. And then at the end of the process, we were also deprived of a right to witness the final tabulation of votes coming in from the different regions in the country.
ولكن كيف انعكس ذلك على تقييمكم أو على تقريركم الذي أصدرتموه؟
Well, we made that plain, that the part that we were able to observe, that is the opening of the election places, the 2 days of voting and the closing of the polls and the counting of the ballots, we were able to witness that part of it. And I would say that in general, that was peaceful. There were a lot of problems, but we saw no allegations or no evidence that the mistakes were designed to favor one candidate over another.
عدد من المنظمات غير الحكومية المصرية التي راقبت الانتخابات ذكرت في تقاريرها أن هناك استخدام كبير جدا للمال السياسي، وخاصة في المناطق العشوائية الفقيرة وفي بعض المحافظات. فهل لاحظتم ذلك، وكيف أثر ذلك على العملية الانتخابية لدعم أو لترجيح كفة مرشح عن الآخر؟
I can't say. We had 102 witnesses, and we were in more than 900 polling places. I can't say that the Carter Center witnessed the paying of voters to cast their ballot for a particular candidate. I heard those allegations from others, particularly other candidates, saying that their opponents or their adversaries were buying votes. I can't certify to that. But any allegation of vote buying that can be presented to the Presidential Election Commission and certified would obviously determine the final decision of the commission. But the Carter Center is not alleging.
ولكن هل تتوقع أن تجري أو تقوم اللجنة العليا للانتخابات الرئاسية بأي إجراء ضد أي من خالف هذه القواعد؟
Well, the violations that occurred because of restraints on observers and so forth, and the inadequate training of voters, and sometimes the late arrival of polling officials, those things can be changed by the Election Commission before the runoff occurs. They have that authority. But, and I would presume that with just 2 candidates involved in the runoff, the entire process will be much simpler.
هل تعتد بذلك؟
Oh yes, I think it will be more simple because there'll be a very clear choice between two people,
yes,
instead of 13 different people with all the campaigns going on. So I think the Election Commission can improve the process based on the evidence that they receive.
نحن نعلم أن جولة الإعادة ستكون بين الدكتور محمد مرسي من جماعة الإخوان المسلمين، مدني من التيار الإسلامي، والآخر هو الفريق أحمد شفيق والذي ينتمي للنظام السابق والمؤسسة العسكرية. هناك طرف ثالث في مصر أو تيار ثالث في مصر لا يؤيد لا دكتور محمد مرسي ولا الفريق أحمد شفيق، وربما سيقاطع الكثيرون هذه الانتخابات في جولة الإعادة. كيف ترى المقاطعة في جولة الإعادة، وكيف ترى الوضع في هذه الحالة، ونسب المشاركة ستكون أكثر تدني من ما هي عليه الآن؟
You know, I've met with some of the young people, for instance, the young revolutionaries in Tahrir Square, who boycotted the first election. And they tell me that they're going to meet with the 2 major candidates. They're going to present questions to the 2 possible presidents, listen carefully to their answers, and then decide how to cast their own support. And you have to realize that these 2 candidates are now going to be faced with a very close campaign. and any support they can get from Christians, from young people, from women, and so forth, will be very valuable to them. So I would guess that both candidates, no matter who they are, will move toward a position of making themselves more attractive to people that didn't support them in the first election.
بما أنك ذكرت الأقباط، فقد التقيت أيضا بالأنبا بخوميوس من بين لقاءاتك مع عدد كبير من الأحزاب والقوى السياسية. هل عبر لك عن مخاوف للأقباط من تولي التيار الإسلامي للحكم أو للرئاسة؟
I wouldn't say fear, but what the Christians want is a civil government. And they emphasize the word civil, which means that all religious groups, no matter whether large or small, will have an equal opportunity within the society to let their own well-being be preserved and to have human rights prevail. So when I have met with the Muslim Brotherhood leaders and the Salafists and others, they also express a preference for equal treatment for all people regardless of their religious belief.
أنت مهندس اتفاقية السلام ومعاهدة كامب ديفيد، وهناك عدد كبير من المرشحين يريدون تعديل بعض بنود هذه الاتفاقية. هل ستقبل إسرائيل بأي تعديلات؟ وكيف ينعكس ذلك على المعونة الأمريكية لمصر؟
Well, I've met with the Muslim Brotherhood and others as well, and I haven't seen any indication that they intend to arbitrarily change the peace treaty.
هل حصلت على أي ضمانات من جماعة الإخوان المسلمين لكي تبقى معاهدة السلام أو اتفاقية كامب ديفيد كما هي؟
I can't get guarantees, but they tell me that they realize that any possible amendments would have to be approved also by Israel. Egypt can't change the treaty by itself, and I don't think there's anybody in Egypt, no matter how irresponsible they might be, who wants to go to war again with Israel. So the peace depends upon the honoring of the treaty that I helped prepare.
ولكن التعديل في هذه المعاهدة لا يعني الحرب.
But you can't amend it unilaterally. If one side changes the treaty.
هل تعتقد أنها تحتاج لتعديل؟
No, I don't think so. It's been there now for 33 years, and not a single word has ever been violated. It's been honored.
أنت إذن مع بقاء المعاهدة كما هي وبدون أي تعديل.
The treaty itself, yes. The other part of Camp David, though, that was equally important and was insisted upon by Anwar Sadat and agreed by Israel, was granting the Palestinians their rights. That has not been done. That has not been done. So that was part of the Camp David Accords. And my hope is that the Egyptian government now will give more attention to the rights of the Palestinians.
لقد أعطيت النصيحة بالنسبة لوضع الجيش في المستقبل، وذكرت أنه يمكن أن يتم الأخذ بالنموذج الأمريكي. فهل أخذت موافقة أو وافق جماعة الإخوان المسلمين على هذا الطرح الذي طرحته؟
Well, I can't say that, but they listened very carefully. And I described to them that this meant that the elected officials would control the military, that the military would be treated with great respect, which we do in America as well, and that the decisions concerning the military would be decided by the parliament and approved by the president in the budget. That some aspects of the military budget would have to be secret, that is relating to intelligence and spies and so forth, but that most of the budget should be public. And that the military should not have any privileged constitutional status. These kind of things apply in America. I think they would be very applicable to Egypt if the Egyptian leaders decide to take my advice. And that's up to them, not me.
هل التقيت الفريق أحمد شفيق؟
I met with him.
هل الولايات المتحدة تفضل مرشح من التيار الإسلامي أم من الخلفية العسكرية؟
You know, I think if the United States government endorsed one candidate, it would be the other candidate who would win. So I think the United States realized that they should stay out of this.
طب أنت أكثر ارتياحا مع أي طرف؟
And that's the way I feel as well. I don't want to express any sort of preference about the candidates. So, but I believe that in general, I've been in politics a long time. At the end of a primary period, and when you get down to the choice between two people, both of those candidates tend to come toward the center to appease and to get the support of those who voted for other candidates early on. So I think there's going to be a moderation in the position of the candidates, no matter who they might be.
الرئيس جيمي كارتر، شكرا على هذا اللقاء، وشكرا لكم مشاهدينا الكرام على حسن المتابعة، وإلى اللقاء.